Chineke, my camera is on. Bịa nwoke.
right. Welcome, welcome, Mr. Alex. I Yeah, I'm just going by the names in Amazon for now, in-house, keeping it small. And thank you for taking our time today to expose us on your side of freelancing when it has to do with Shopify. The floor is yours now. Thank you. Just appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. Well, it's a pleasure. It's an honor being here. Hi everyone. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. So, my name is Alex, as Ngozi earlier said. I'm a Shopify expert. So I deal with building e-commerce businesses using Shopify. So we're primarily here today to discuss what the opportunities are in e-commerce, specifically using Shopify. And so, first of all, I'll run you guys through the resources that I use to get started, while learning and everything like that. But I just want to confirm, can you guys hear me? Am I audible enough?
We can hear
Yes,
you. Yes.
yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, yeah. All right, all right. So let me just connect with my laptop now. Okay, can you still hear me? All right.
Yes, we can hear you. It's just
Okay, so let me just share my screen now. Okay. So I think I shared this resource with Ngozi earlier, but I think let me paste it in the chat. So while learning and while working on my journey to become a Shopify expert, there were a lot of resources on. I was really, really confused as to how to walk through this whole thing because there were not really a lot of experts that were one sharing their knowledge online. So maybe the same way you go online and you see like maybe visual designers, UI UX designers, developers, project managers, business operation people, AI automation. I've not really seen anyone that has been sharing their journey from e-commerce and specifically now from Shopify itself. So if you go on, you'd see a lot of like gurus that claim, okay, do drop shipping and in less than 1 week, Amazon FBA, you make like $80,000 and all that. So this resource I'm about to share with you is like it's like a straightforward. I think can I paste it in the chat here? Let me see if I can do that. All right. So yeah, this resource that I shared with you is basically Shopify's academy. So and it's what a lot of like SaaS businesses do. So once they build a software, once they build a software, they try to like use their in-house team to like put together, a couple of videos, courses, put them together so that people can effectively use that software that they built. So this is Shopify Academy now, and in this academy now, they'll train you on various ways to use their software, and and now depending on the role you want to apply for, you want to like or the career path you want to build using Shopify as a tool, there are now different ways you can get to use Shopify and different, will I say, tech, different levels of knowledge that's required. So if you see here, I filtered it based. So definitely once you sign up, you can sign up with like Google and all that. So it's a very straightforward process. So once you sign up, you can come under this type here and you see track. So you just tick track. And the essence of ticking track is that track now is more organized towards building, will I say, a holistic career. You understand? So and while using Shopify now, there are like three major aspects that pertain to using the software that you can now use to build, that you can use as a basis to build a career. So the first one is as a Shopify developer. And so what's a Shopify developer now? As the name already implies, you are someone that builds these e-commerce stores, these e-commerce platforms. So as you can see here, already with some of the info, like a Shopify developer builds high quality, inclusive, scalable solutions, la yada yada yada. So you already kind of get the okay. So you already kind of get the gist of what's going on here right now. So this is basically more on the technical aspect now. So you can see here theme development, app development, Shopify Plus features, data migration and integration. And so inside a lot of this now, you can already see courses inside of them. So inside of like these packs or these bundles now, you now see like mini courses inside them that tends to explain everything you're looking for. So this is so yeah, if you want to become a Shopify developer, like this is all I would recommend. Then maybe probably you can go on Udemy and take maybe a course or two, but like this will give you the foundational knowledge that you need to at least land your first job. So if we go back to okay. All right. So there's Shopify Commerce Consultant. And so this is basically for, okay, I think I'll cover it later in the in the training session, but just know that Shopify Commerce Consultant now is basically someone that comes in to handle the day-to-day like e-commerce related problems. So as you can see here now, a Shopify Commerce Consultant expertly assesses prospect needs, position Shopify unique strengths across diverse business models and delivers compelling pitches and all that. So this is basically someone that comes in to like solve business related problems. So as you can see now, as you can see roles here. Let me see if I can zoom this in. Yeah, all right. So you can see roles here like commerce strategies, pre-sales solutions manager, commerce growth consultant. So this is basically someone that comes in to access your business, look at it, and using the tool Shopify and already those marketing and business skills that have been built now, the person can now access your business in order to scale it. So if you look through the courses now, you can see like, okay, so this one is for merchandising. So strategic merchandising for e-commerce, commerce models on Shopify, etc., etc. So you can see a value-based selling and all that good stuff. So that's basically what this Shopify Commerce Consultant is all about. So, okay, so the last one. Okay. Okay, sorry, that was a work message. So the last one is Shopify Solutions Architect. So what this one is basically about is usually now when scaling e-commerce businesses now, there usually needs to be someone that stands in between the dev team. So if you notice now, the Shopify developer now is focused more on the very technical aspects of the business, and I would also get into that as we go further. But the very technical parts of the business, I'm saying like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Liquid, Hydrogen. So this Liquid, Hydrogen, and Headless, they are all like frameworks, developer frameworks that are used to like build stores on Shopify. So yeah, so there needs to be someone that can balance that technical knowledge and actual will I say solutions or visual solutions now that now meet up to client requirement. What do I mean by this now? So let's say now you want to push in a new vendor, or you want to create a new collection for, let's say, winter sales, for instance. Now you can tell the dev that, okay, yeah, we want to build we want to add another page to our current existing pages. Okay, I think maybe a good let me look for one website for hands. Yeah, to just show you what it looks like. think yes, it was 400 a good example. Yeah, it should be a good example. Okay, yeah, exactly. So now this website now is completely built. All right, nice. So this website now is completely built in Shopify. This e-commerce store is completely built in Shopify. So as you can see here now, they have like okay 500 plus new winter arrivals. So now let's click on shop the season. So you can see how all these are placed. Now, as you can already see now, this is not a typical e-commerce site that's very static and very, businesses are evolving and, trends are changing. There's AI now. Businesses are moving so fast. So they need someone that can balance design, business, and technical decisions. So while the devs now can focus on building this, now there's someone that actually comes in, looks at this UI and says, okay, I think availability should come in first, and maybe we should feature products that come in at so time, or we should feature products that come with a certain color first, or we should feature a certain category first. You understand? So these are like business decisions, yeah, that also have to be balanced with the technical aspect. So a dev might not exactly be sure what role to play in all of this, but as a solutions what's the name of that role again? Yeah, a solutions architect. Yeah. So as a solutions architect now, you are now there to balance this what do you call it? This disparity between these two people. I don't know if I'm making sense. Can you still hear me? Okay, okay, all right. So all right. So as you can see here, you can also see like the job titles. They are now solutions engineer, solutions designer, technical architect, and all of that. So if we go through, let's see solutions design now, analyzing a business. Okay, I'm getting visualizing technical solutions, understanding conversion rate. So as you can see already, this is more like balancing business decisions with technical decisions. As you can now you can see introduction to Shopify Liquid. Now Shopify Liquid now, like I said earlier, it's a framework that's used to build these Shopify apps, Shopify themes, Shopify websites. So as you can see already now, there's a lot of like Shopify analytics from data to decisions. So it just pretty much covers what I've already talked about earlier. So these are the three major like career paths, if I may say, that exist within this software's ecosystem. And I think with e-commerce in general, because at the end of the day, yeah, e-commerce businesses are majorly just the developer aspects of things. Someone that comes in that understands distribution, that understands how to build that business, because there's a technical side of the business, which is where the developers handle. Then there's the building of the business, which is what the commerce consultant does. Then there's the solutions architect now that comes to solve those nuanced issues that occur as this is being built. Because trust me, there will be a lot of chaos between the commerce consultant. That's basically it for, let's say, the software in Shopify training. Like the software itself. I think this course will be able to cover everything. And it's completely free. Like it is very, very free. So you can click on it, go through all the courses, watch all the videos. Because you can see the ones I've already taken, and it's saying complete at the top. This one I registered for it, but I've not finished it yet. So yeah, that's then again, if you want to push it further, you can now go for Shopify verified skills. So already you can see the fees attached to it. So if you are dealing with if you are focused on the developer aspect, yeah, you can get this too. And now you can add these badges now to your LinkedIn, you can add it on your CV, you can post it online, and it gives you more credibility online. So if you have the money and you can afford it, yeah, you can definitely go for it. But if you don't, in my opinion, it's really not that big of a deal. One, considering the price, and two, now is that, you know, once you're able to show your expertise, people are willing to work with you, badge or not. This badge is more like, okay, way of showing that, okay, I've gone through this process, but it's your expertise, it's your decision making, it's how you show up online. It's things like this now that now make people build familiarity with you and even want to work with you. So yeah, that's it for the software aspect of it. So now, okay, fine. We've talked about this software now. Are there really opportunities in this space, or did you just come here as one of those gurus to just have some speaking time? All right. So let me just show you what opportunities exist. So I'm on Upwork now. I've already opened. I'm sure Ms. Ngozi has already explained what Upwork is to you guys, or maybe you already have an idea. But if you don't, Upwork is a freelancing platform. So as it says, it's basically a platform you come to get jobs. So now I searched up here now with Shopify. It's a very generic term, but I just wanted to kickstart with that. So now search with Shopify now. And we're dealing with best matches here. So all right. Now, as you can see already now, there are 83 jobs under entry level, 2,500 jobs under intermediate, and 1,000. Okay, I don't know. Can you see my screen clearly?
Yes.
Okay, we can. All right. Yeah. So as you can see already now, if we're trying to sum all of this now, this is close to 4,000 thereabouts, yeah, or 4,000 plus roles that are available from entry level to expert. And so if you ask me, that's a lot of so that's already a clear indication that there are jobs in this role. So now let's also get a bit selfish here, because I know we didn't come here to just be bottom feeders. We came here to actually make serious money. So now you can already see with fixed prices here. So let me just filter. This just to give you that moonshot, and you throw your minds in that space now. And let's say, okay, so $1,000 to $5,000. Now, as you can see now, senior e-commerce CRO growth lead agent, growth lead. So now, already now from this role now, I can tell you that if you want to go for a role like this is what you should learn. Now, this is what you should learn. If you want to be focused on growth, it will either be one of these two. For this particular role now, one of these two. I think it is tilting more towards commerce consultants, because I'm seeing here that there are a lot more business decisions that need to be made. So when it comes to conversion rate optimization, we already know that it's basically just laying down the foundation that allows unqualified leads to become qualified leads. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So you are trying to get customers, and usually now imagine imagine the way beans is, for instance. Now the way beans comes from the market now, those are like unqualified leads. So when you are now sieving out the chaff and sieving out all those things, that's what that's what the conversion rate optimization does. It tends to filter out all the chaff you don't need and put in more of the good stuff. So in order to get this kind of role now, you already see either a Shopify commerce consultant or a solutions architect, more of a Shopify commerce consultant. So now we scroll down, there's Google merchants, okay, Shopify website build from design specs, okay, clone my big commerce, okay, Shopify developer, okay. So already you can see that there is a market in this space. Like there is a market in this space. You can see a 159. So we can go on and on and on and on and on. Senior e-commerce developer, website development and all of that. So we can keep going on and you. So this is just to prove to you that okay, this thing I'm just saying is not something to waste your time. There's actually a market in this space, and there are actually things that you can accomplish in this space. Okay, so I think that's for that. So let's also look at talents in this role, because it's one thing to say, okay, this is a software, and if you learn it and learn the business around it, you make money. And okay, now you know that there are opportunities in that space. Okay, can you point me to people that are actually doing it and making money? So now I think let me start from the lower part. Now I search with Shopify again. So now let me filter with rising talents. Already now you can see that there are people in this space. Now let me go with top rated. You can also see that there are people in this space. Someone here has earned 40K plus, and the person is an Indian. Let me just zoom this in so that person is an Indian. So you can see that even from a third world country, you can still succeed in this skill. 40K plus Pakistan. All right. 70K plus Indian. So it's funny how even with the search so far now, on the first page now, we're not still seeing a Nigerian yet. So that still goes to show that this thing works. It's active, but it's just that in our region right now, there are not a lot of people that have put their eyes in this aspect or in this industry per se. So that's what makes us special, because we kind of get to pioneer this space in Nigeria per se. Now there are a couple of people doing it here and there, but it's nothing mainstream yet, especially as a Nigerian freelancer. So now let's go top rated. These are the bad dogs. These are the top dogs, in this space. So this one 100K plus, okay, $1 million plus, okay, 80K, okay, 80K, 1M plus, So already, so you can see that there's market in this space. There's a real big market in this place. So all right, I think let me dive a bit into, but so far so good. Do you have any questions? Am I moving too fast? Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Okay. From my end, no questions. It's been really, really exposing so far.
Okay. Okay. All
And I
right.
think it goes the same with everybody.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right. Yeah, Caleb, thanks for that. All right. So, I think would move on to talk about. We'll move on now to talk about what the shape of an e-commerce business looks like, because I think one thing that really affected me as a person was, I don't just think me, I think this happens to a lot of people too, is that, they tell you something like, okay, UI UX is the new oil money. So, jump in there, you make some money, you just go there, design screens, do stuff. And you find out that a lot of people don't actually have successful careers because they don't understand the business that they are walking into. Because it's one thing to come out and say, okay, I'm a Shopify developer, I'm a commerce consultant, I'm an e-commerce solutions architect. But what does that actually look like in business terms? Like okay, what is even this e-commerce business? Like how does it work? How can I, over the long run now, how can I still tell what loopholes look like in this business? So now that's what I'm trying to cover now. So ideally, this is from like personal research. So it's not a doctrine or anything like that. But from personal research now, I think I've come to observe that e-commerce businesses has or e-commerce business in general has a certain shape. And let me just show you what that looks like now. All right. So what that looks like, it's like this. Yeah. So the reason for this kind of diagram now describing the e-commerce business. Oh my god, my handwriting is so bad. I should not do that. All right. So using this now to like describe the e-commerce um business is basically because in the beginning now, when you are trying to start an e-commerce business, generally it's capital intensive because if we're trying to reverse engineer what a good e-commerce business or what a standard e-commerce business looks like is that they handle their own manufacturing. So they handle their inventory, they handle like supply chain stuff and make sure that the products are actually ready. Then when they now start making, so that's what this initial part is for. So I should reduce the thickness on this. Okay, so that's what, oh my god. Okay, so that's what this point is for. So this point generally is for, you know, getting upfront the capital or arranging inventory and all of that. Then what by the time you now make your first set of sales, that's what this side is for. You now make your first set of sales, you now encounter another block around this region. And now, what these blocks usually are now is either one of two things. Either you have hit a supply chain issue, or you have hit a supply chain block, or you have hit a distribution based block. And now, what do these two things mean? Supply chain, just in the simplest terms, supply chain is basically that system that ensures that products are ready, inventory is ready, storage is ready. Period. Like that is basically in a simplest term. That's what supply chain is all about. So when you see someone come out like, oh, I'm a supply chain engineer, or something like that, they just manage that process. So then there's distribution now, where distribution now comes in two angles. One is from the customer's end. So let's say you are running ads and those ads are not converting, so you have less headcounts. So this now is less. So therefore, when you have less people wanting to come and buy your stuff now, you kind of notice this plateau right here. So that's what this line is for. Maybe, or you now notice that people are not coming the way they used to, or you are just maintaining a certain range of customers. So which means that your churn is low. So these are the two major roadblocks that e-commerce businesses face, and that's the reason why I think there's a very big market here, because a lot of people that start e-commerce businesses, they started because of the financial arbitrage that it gives. Do you mean to tell me that I don't have to actively be involved in my business? I can just be selling stuff and making money. But they don't know that it goes way beyond that, and it is capitalizing on that ignorance, or sometimes it's also capitalizing on that awareness, because it's one thing to know you have a problem and it's another thing to have the solution. You have malaria, you are aware you have malaria, but you know that without a pharmacist nothing is going to change in your life. You might as well equally die with that awareness. So that's the reason why I still see till tomorrow, give or take, like post AI, pre AI, under AI, after AI, people are still going to buy stuff. You see people sell courses online, sell this, sell that. Like, that's e-commerce. All of that is e-commerce. So it doesn't have to be like drop shipping. It doesn't have to. I think of e-commerce as the study of the online market, basically, because as an e-commerce expert now, you need to be able to understand how to build distribution around commodities. Now, that commodity could be a course, that commodity could be a physical product, that commodity could be a digital product, that commodity could be anything. But as long as you understand how to build distribution around that thing, then I mean you are the go-to person. So now at this point, you now actually realize that this is bigger than Shopify itself. So that's why all these blocks here, these spaces here, are usually like the big banks where money is being made, these spaces. So, and now this is like the window, or these regions here are the windows that you have to prove that what you are doing actually works. So this is the point where the client will be most desperate to get someone. Then this is where you actually show that you were not a wrong hire. I don't know if that makes sense. Hey guys, is anyone still here? Okay. Ignatius, I'm saying what's I'm still thinking. Okay, yeah, I think maybe later on, maybe you can drop your question in the chat, because I would love to round up my session soon so that I can take questions and yeah, just generally know what you guys' thoughts are. So yeah, that's generally what the this is generally the shape of e-commerce business is generally. So now let me just get down to another aspect of this now. And this is one part I think that most people are not really honest about. The major selling point for any e-commerce business is basically your brand. Because think about it here, Nike, Adidas, these guys, it's not like Nike has a different cotton fabric. It's not like Nike, like, let's do a very visual example. Images. Okay, I'm just pop this guy. I'm just pop this guy in here. Yeah. So let's do the Under Armour. Okay. I think this guy looks good here. I'm gonna pop this guy in here. So now already, so what I mean by this is that it's not like the cotton that's used to, let me get my pencil again. It's not like the cotton that's used to produce this shirt is different from the cotton used to produce this one. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's exactly the same material, but what makes this one sell? Oh, let me reduce this size again. Okay, so what makes this one sell more than this guy is basically this right here. So you mean to tell me that the entire valuation of Nike itself okay. And let me get Under Armour's logo. All right. So you mean to tell me now that the key differentiator between these two things, why this one can be $300 and this one can be $50, is basically this right here. So when you sit down and think about it, you now find out that e-commerce is you are in the business of building brands in e-commerce, because what makes your product sell more than others is basically just that. And now, what is brand? Branding, in the very simplest terms, is just the building of associations. You understand? Because a lot of people have come up with, oh, like brand as per how people see you, or and all of that. And I think that that's a very vague definition, because when you view something by its association to something. For instance, now when you see Miss Ngozi here now, you see a leader, you understand? You see a woman of excellence now. And now you find out that you are associating her with those attributes. So, which means if you want to build a brand, you need to build your associations. For instance, now you start going to church now, and people now that don't really care about that whole thing now. In essence, you start hearing he's a church boy, he's a church girl, he's a this, he's a that. And that's because you are building associations with a church. The same thing if you go to a club. The same thing now if you spend your time around business people. The same thing if you spend your time around sport related people. Before you know it now, they start associating you with that kind of thing. That's why you see certain people now that want to, like, will I say, certain influencers and all of that want to associate themselves with like top-notch performance and excellence. They always wear Nike. Not because it expands on their skin, or it makes them so happy, but because they know what wearing Nike means in the society. They know what association is being created there. Exactly. So e-commerce is basically a business of building brands. Like, primarily, that is what you're doing. So that's the reason why in this industry, more than others, communication matters. How you speak to your clients, how you speak to customers, how you handle customer service, how you handle customer inquiry, how you handle a lot of things. Communication matters, because you are trying to build associations with things, with people. So, with that being said, I've said a lot of things here, and I've covered a lot of the software aspects and the technicalities that are involved in an e-commerce business. So now the question is, why should you listen to me? Say a lot of these things, and why should you listen to me? Well, the first job I got in e-commerce, I was working as a contractor, a product listing contractor on Amazon, for a company on Amazon. And this happened in 2021. Yeah, that was 2021. And in the process of doing all this, that was when my love for the whole space came about. But I couldn't fully explore it because bills needed to be paid, and two was I didn't even understand the space. So I was like, there's no point. Oh, ends in 15 minutes. Oh, okay. Okay, so I think the call ends in 15 minutes. So let me just wrap up in 5 minutes and take questions for 10 minutes. Is that fine, guys? Mr. Ngozi, is that also okay? Because I think the call will be wrapping up soon.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay.
Do you still have more to dish out to us? We could always end it and begin another one.
Okay. Yeah, that can work. Okay. Yeah, I think I still have a little more.
All right. So maybe just once it's 5 minutes, I'll send the link to another one here on the chat, so that I can just join that one and end this one.
Okay, all right. So, okay, as I was saying, okay. Yeah, so that was in 2021, and I didn't even understand the business. It didn't make sense to me at the time. So that was how, but I just kept doing it, let it just be that, I'm eating. They say upload this product, make this listing, and all of that. Along the line now, I really got to realize that those little listings I was making that also looked little now adversely affected the sales in the company. So I found out that when I use certain keywords, So certain products started selling better than certain products when I started using certain keywords, when I started getting creative about it, just playing around with some words and some things. And I was like, and before you know now, they're not like, come, this guy, there's something you are doing that I don't know, but since you started listing products for us, there has been more sales. I don't know what was happening. Little did I know that I was playing around with SEO. Yes, I knew it was SEO at the time, but it wasn't a big deal. I was just doing my thing, my regular thing. So rather than just putting black shirt, I can put like male black shirt, that kind of thing. And little by little, little by little. So I now found out that if I could actually sit down and build a career out of building public businesses like this that trade commodities, then I think there will be something great going on there. Then that was how, moving on from that now, that contract ended. After a while, that contract ended. The company was going through some internal changes, so they had to lay off some people and all of that. That happened. And a few years after, which now happened to be last year or so. Yeah, I think that was last year. I now landed another job through an agency with a mid-sized company. So they deal with interior and decoration, and I don't know if I let me lifestyle. Cool. Yeah, this is a company. But I don't think it will open now without VPN. So yeah, it won't open now without VPN. So yeah, all I'm trying to say with all this is that I have some skin in the game. I'm nowhere near an expert, but I have some skin in the game, and I can actually tell you for a fact that there is money in this space, and there's a serious career to be built in this space with or without AI's intervention. Like, AI is only easing the process a bit based on how I see it, though, because if you go on Twitter or you go on LinkedIn, like, oh, the software engineering is dead, this is dead, that is dead. Now, this leads me to the second aspect of my whole, will I say, talk. The first aspect was to cover the technicalities and the reality of opportunities in this space. Now, the second aspect is to address a mindset behind getting all of this and growing to a point where you can be proud of your achievements in this space. So now, the first thing is, or the first mindset shift I would want to drop is, I think I can also, let me also type it here so I can see it as I'm saying it. Number one, use what you have. Now, this would seem as corny as a lot of things you see on the internet. Well, the reason why I'm saying use what you have, and I'm saying use what you have now, not from a resource standpoint, from a mental standpoint. Why? Because when I started, it was just I was just angry. Even till now, I still think that anger is there. A lot of it is still there. I'm angry because I was tired of life defeating me. I was tired of feeling like I was always behind in my own life. I had no control over the things that happened to me, around me. I felt so useless in my own skin, you know. And then I had a lot of people that come up to me, pitching career advice, this advice, that advice, no, you don't have to be a five, chase your passion, read what you love, your heart has to be white, has to be pure. And I'm like, see, at the end of the day, yeah, a pure heart will not pay your bills. Take it or leave it. Kindness of your heart, and no matter how it won't pay your bills, but skills will pay your bills. And guess what? You don't even have to fall in love with the skill. You don't even have to like it. You just have to be competent. You have to be competent and you have to be visible. These two things. So when I come down to saying things like use what you have and all of that, what I mean is just from wherever you are now, you can achieve things. So I said visibility plus competence. So, okay, all right. Visibility and competence. So, all right. These are really the two main factors that you need to to get this thing done for real. So if it is anger that you have, if it is pain that you have, if it is the frustration of not being able to live the kind of life you want, if it is the pain that comes with looking at what your life could have been and what your life is now, if it is that anger of not being able to provide for yourself, use it. Use it. Don't let that fuel just go to waste. And now some people might ask the question, oh, what happens if when that anger runs out, man, you would find another thing to keep yourself going. But the most important thing is that you keep going. You don't have to love what you do. You only need to understand it well enough to monetize it. So I think that's the first mindset shift that I would really want to push out there for people starting out, because I did not envision myself being in the e-commerce space. Honestly, it was even the last thing I thought I would be doing. Initially, when Miss Ngozi got to know me, I was still doing UI UX and graphic design and all of that. So right now, the trajectory between there and here basically started because I was tired of my life being the way it was. I saw an opening in an agency for a Shopify product lister and optimizer. I went in, threw in my CV, went through the agency's job list, threw in my CV to all of them, just kept re-optimizing my CV, throwing in this, I'm adding this, removing that, and bam. After close to 6 months plus, I think that was 6 months plus, yeah. Because it started in January, then July, yeah. So that was about 7 months. That will be 6 months, yeah, thereabouts. Okay. Oh, okay, 7 minutes remaining.
Yeah, we can end this call. I'm sending the link to the next meeting now, so that we can start joining that one.
Okay.
It's in the it's in the chat section.
Okay.
Now click the other one. We can leave the old one. Yeah, please leave this one. Leave this one. Leave this one. Okay, we can hear you.
If it is anger that you have right now, use that anger. If it is pain that you have right now, use that pain. Because guess what? Yeah, living a fulfilled life only comes from actually being useful to other people. Because I think people try to look for fulfillment in very selfish ways, and they keep searching for their whole life. But trust me, yeah, a fulfilled life comes from being useful to other people. Because there's only so much you can do for yourself in a lifetime. But when it comes to people now that's where the real fulfillment is. And you cannot be useful to people if you do not have capacity in any form or any way. The reason why you are all on this call listening to me is because there is some capacity. You can perceive that, okay, there is something this guy is saying, there is some sense to it. That's the reason why we're still on this call. So use what you have. This is basically me giving you that permission to, in case maybe nobody has, giving you that permission to not feel bad with your situation. But if it is that anger you have, use it. Don't be ashamed of it. Use it. Use it. So now, secondly, the second mindset shift is, okay, let me duplicate this. Is learning to, or rather learning how to contextualize information. Hmm. Oh, you can't see my screen.
Yes, you can see.
Oh,
We can see.
okay. So if you can see my screen now, maybe just pop up a thumbs up emoji. Let me just be sure.
It's frozen from my end. It's frozen.
Oh,
I think you're
oh,
typing, but it's frozen.
oh. Mm. Okay, so is it visible now? All right.
We can't still see it. Some of us cannot still see it.
Maybe
Hmm. That's weird. Okay, let me check. Let me change some settings again. Let me do tab instead. Okay, so can you see my screen now?
No.
Hmm.
Oh, come back. Come back. Come back. Come on. Let's see it in the same shape.
It's not just, I think it might be from your network.
No, probably.
Yeah, I think it's from network because I switched to sharing tab. So okay, yeah, all right. So yeah, so the second thing I I want to talk about here is um, it's not here. Yeah, is learning how to contextualize information. So now, what do I mean by this now? The truth of the matter is that at the end of the day, you are the only one that truly understands what your situation looks like right now. You are the only one that can really tell, like, deep, and these are, I'm saying, like, deep descriptive narrative essay on what your life situation looks like right now. You are the one that can really tell. So I think it would be unfair to yourself and to your future self if you just jump around on any information that you get in its raw state. Because the ability for you to digest information and actually know what it means at your current level is going to be the differentiator between success and failure in your journey. Now there are moments when you just keep quiet and listen, but there are moments when you have to bring that information and be like, what does this actually mean? And I'm saying this because coming up now, like, there was a lot of advice, a lot of talk, and I just kept jumping from thing to thing and kept jumping from, from stuff to stuff. This one will say this one, and I'll now start feeling bad about this, and I'll now jump, and it's crazy because when you are starting out, you are desperate. You're desperate for results. You are desperate to just earn something, to make your life meaningful. So there is every tendency to fly around. There's every tendency to jump from pillar to post. But when you can actually sit to actually look at it and be like, what does this actually mean for me? What does this actually mean to me? Let me tell you one of the reasons why a lot of popular finance books or finance books, they are trending. I think it's The Secret of a Millionaire, and all those ones. And especially the ones written by foreign authors now. It doesn't mean that the information there is not valuable, but when you look at your present situation, you look at where you are coming from, you now find out that there are some things there that you really can't apply. You really can't apply. See in some books that, I took a chance on myself, I went to take a loan. Nigeria, you want to take a loan. As someone that does not have previous financial track record of spending in millions, that they can confidently give you a certain amount. So you find out that context really doesn't apply in your situation. You understand? For instance, now let me give you another example. Now, when people say, we started from nothing, nothing is relative. Your nothing could be that, your uncle from the US came and gave you a laptop and that's how you started. Another person's nothing could be that they were going to a cyber cafe close to their house and that's how they learned about tech. And before you know it, now they start working there, they start taking outside jobs. Before they now got their own laptop. Now that is another level of nothing. And these two people will see come out and say they started with nothing. There's another level of nothing that I can't even afford to buy a phone. This button phone is my all in all. Now they sell. That is another level of nothing. So if you now take it as this generic thing and you now try to digest it that way, that they all started with nothing, self-made millionaires. Not true, bro. Not true. Not true. And I'm saying this because, I want people to, I don't want you guys to come up with the pressure of all the things that are happening online. Because you can come online and you see people giving 1,000,001 advice and you now start feeling bad about your situation. But if you actually contextualize it to your situation, to be like, okay, this person said that he took a chance on himself by taking a loan. What does that mean to someone like me in a third world country from a middle to lower class family that barely has almost nothing? What does that mean to me? Maybe, this is me citing examples now, that could mean talking to a friend that can afford it, to be like, bro, see what I'm trying to do, blah, 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 blah. That could mean talking to your sponsor. That could mean talking to your friend. That could mean, you understand it. So the finance guru's definition of taking a chance on himself was a loan. But your own definition of taking a chance on yourself could be asking for help, could be competing for a lottery. It could be maybe you get one bet game where come out now, maybe say you just do anyhow, just put money inside, bam, the thing came out. And the funny part about it is that when you tell a story like this, that you put money in bet and it now looks like a success story, because what happened at the end of the day is that something successful was achieved. So it now becomes a success story. Before you know that, you now see line of people that are throwing their money into sporting. Now, do you see how this kind of cycle repeats itself? Not knowing that that was God's way of giving you a one-off breakthrough chance to now hit the main goal. So learning to contextualize information allows you to take that data, process it into what it actually means for you. And personally, I think that's one of the best skills that anyone can actually develop. The ability to contextualize information from the observable eye. And what is that observable eye? You are the observable, like you are seeing the things in real life. You can quantify what this is and what that is in your present reality. So that's the second thing. The third thing is, passion. I want to demystify the god of online gurus, and motivational speakers, passion. Now, this word has been called so many things. It has been, at this point, I even think it has been romanticized. Follow your passion. I was so passionate about it. Woke up one morning, something kicked my ass, and I woke up and I knew I was born for it. Man, I think I close this book first. The truth of the matter is this here. What does the word passion even mean? I think I searched it out at some point here. Okay, I didn't. Now, let me switch tabs now. Share this tab instead. Oh, yeah. That's it here. Now, as you can see here already, the word, I think, let me even copy this and paste it in that Figma file. Okay. Wow, it's quite a long definition. Okay. So, as we can see here already now, the word passion comes from the Latin word passio, which means suffering or enduring. It is derived from the Latin verb patio, meaning to suffer, bear, or endure, which is fundamentally linked to the concept of passion as a deep, often painful commitment or sacrifice. So when people use the word passion, you can see here that from the very definition of the word, it doesn't mean something that feels good. Your passion is simply something you are willing to suffer for. It's something that you are willing to bear the pain of. It's something you are willing to be committed to. And there was nothing here that talked about love, that talked about, feeling good. So I'm trying to demystify this whole, I just followed my passion and I woke up. Man, look, passion means suffering. So if you are willing to suffer for something until you see the fruits of your labor, now that is defined as passion. Not that you woke up one morning and had one magical feeling and butterflies on your belly. When you hear the phrase a passionate lover, that, let's say for instance now, God, I think I've heard that phrase somewhere before, God is a passionate lover, that he's willing to suffer to build a relationship with us. So passion in general is basically your ability to suffer and endure pain for a certain goal, for a certain thing, for a certain person, for a certain achievement. So I'm just trying to demystify that word because, you definitely hear it a lot, from motivational gurus and from a lot of people. And truthfully, it's good that people get to understand what things actually mean instead of just throwing around amorphous words that just overcomplicate things. Because if you follow passion from what the motivational speech gurus give you, it now makes it look like passion is a feeling. So, and feelings are fleeting. You can be happy today and sad tomorrow. It doesn't make you a bad person. That you're happy doesn't make you a good person. Bad people are happy too. You understand? So when you reduce passion to a feeling, it throws away the meaning, and one, and two, now is that you leave a generation of people that are confused. So passion is basically what you are willing to suffer for, basically. And let me also give you like a bonus on this right now, which is you will never actually know what you are good at until you try something. I've always been good at music. I've always been good at, It was until you actually tried music that you now found out you were good at it. And now, guess what? It's not even because you started music that you were good at it, because you started music and you developed competence in music. So when people are like, just do what you're good at, no, you should just do stuff first. Like, you should just start doing stuff. Because trust me, when you do something over and over again and you keep sucking and you keep doing bad and you keep making mistakes, you will be better the 100th time than you will be on your first time. So what am I trying to do with this whole mindset shift thing? I'm trying to lift it from a feeling-based response to an action-based response that is intellectual. So that you are doing what you are doing and you are conscious of what you are doing. You're not just doing it because someone said. And when you have this inner conviction of what you are doing, it makes it easier to sit there even when things get tough. Because trust me, the tech world is not what it used to be. Like there's a lot happening right now. So you need that staying power mentally to be able to sit down in those tough times and know that I will be the one to tell the story at the end. Because if you keep jumping from thing to thing, you never actually build mastery at anything. So you are just an incompetent, exposed person. Yeah, I know graphic design. And why am I saying this? Because I was that person. Graphic design, this, that. Okay, which one? So you don't have to feel good about a lot of the choices. You just have to be committed to seeing it to the end. Let me tell you one funny thing. Now, I am by in no way a marriage counselor or anything like that. So just take this advice with a grain of salt, but think about it now. You get to sit and be with one woman, or if you're a woman, be with one man for over 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Do you really think what keeps them together is love? Or that feeling of, oh, butterflies in my belly? Trust me, after 5 years, butterfly don't they die. The butterfly is already going. So it is that commitment that keeps them. You understand? Saying, oh, successful marriage. Oh my God, I wish that kind of marriage in myself. Are you willing to suffer to make it happen? Now, in that case, it's a two-person, is between two people. So it has to be like a mutual kind of decision. But in this case now, it is between you and your dreams, you and your goals. So yeah, that's the third one. And I think the fourth one, which is the second to the last one. Okay, yeah. Just another bonus tip is for social media positioning. I think, let me call this the fourth one. For social media positioning now, One thing I would generally advise is to document your journey. Because think about it, yeah. We live in an age where we have a tool in our hands that is capable of bringing out pixel perfect, like pixel perfect results. Like, so see, in some areas, human beings can't even keep up. Can't even keep up. So why am I trying to say this now? I'm not saying this to scare you, but I'm saying this to show you the opportunity advantage that exists within this space. So now, when you have a tool that brings out pixel perfect results, now, what is really left? Because it takes care of everything you need. But at the end of the day, now, a company will not pay an AI to handle their stuff for them, no matter how good AI gets. Because at the end of the day, yeah, people want to build a relationship with people. And so, how do you even build that relationship? Like, how does it even start? People want to deal with people. Leave all this AI, AI at the end of the day is just an enabler. Because think about it now. If you get into a world where everything is robotic, in this, out this, human existence will become useless. So guess what now? These same humans that are still creating this whole AI, they will still look for ways to keep themselves alive, because living is in action. Living is in action. So if you stay and you have everything set to, even the people that are trying to craft that world will get tired. So you see other startups now coming up, banking on that niche. So this is me trying to tell you that don't be afraid of AI. Because so far so good in my experience, I've not seen any AI tool that has built a company that is funded by YC Combinator or by Y Combinator. I've not seen any vibe coded websites that supports 1 million users. I've not seen any AI startup that has come out and the AI startup has built a software or a tool that is serving 100 million users. I've not. So which means at the end of the day, until AI is able to get to that point, man, there's nothing to be afraid of. The noise, the thing is that fear exists in the vague and not in the specific. So when you are actually specific as to, but what does this actually mean? You find out that there's really nothing to be afraid of. Yes, it can shift the trajectory a bit. You find out that you are learning a lot, but that's what it means to be in tech. That's what it means to be in tech. So when I say document your journey now, this is where you show people who you are. You walk people through what it is like for you. You come on social media and you talk about your experience, your in-day experience, out of your day experience, midnight experience, your work experience. You keep throwing these things out there because people want to connect with someone that they feel they know. I'm sure there's nobody in this place that does not know about iShow Speed. Sure, everybody knows about iShow Speed. I'm sure some people here still know maybe who else will I mention now? Maybe it's building. Yeah, Mr. Beast. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people here know Mr. Beast. These people won't be where they are today if they were not able, and we cannot have such a close relationship with them. Think about it. The way that we see Hollywood artists from a distance. Yes, Clark Kent did Superman, but Clark Kent as a person, who is he to me? Nothing. So you find out that who you fall in love with is the image that they curate, not themselves. So what am I trying to say with all this here? Documenting your journey is a very good way to show people the human that you are and the progress that you are making. And also, it gives them a chance to peep in and get to know you. There are some people that can quote verbatim who certain people are. Like if you come online and see maybe I should speak did something like this, some people, like you will see a fan club of people that will rain out and be like, no, these people have not even met him one on one. But because they have gotten to spend enough time, he has gotten to be one authentic enough to share. And they have seen him so much on their screens that they kind of know him. They kind of know him. So we kind of overcomplicate what this thing actually looks like, but it's just one day at a time. You are dropping your wins, you are dropping your losses online, you are sharing it, you are learning, you are getting feedback, you are improving. That's what helps recruiters, people, CEOs, all these people. When they look at things like this, they know that this person is human, one, they are committed to growing, two, and you are someone I can trust, because trust is built over time. You show up, you show up, you show up. Before you know what's happening, they trust you. So now, that's the third one. I'll be the fourth one. That should be the fourth one. Thereabouts. All right. So I think we're coming to the last one. Yeah. Oh, this one might get a bit dicey, but okay. Now, the last one. How to handle negative feedback. Now, this one is a bit funny, but I'm just going to give like a little backstory to this so that it has some teeth, it has some context. So growing up, I've really been like a very emotional person, and I've really been the type of person that would react. I was a very reactive person, and I reacted to things a lot. Like I'm saying a lot, even for a guy. At some point it was as if I was having anger issues, And I think this was a period after I lost my mom. So everything was just so crazy for me. Like I was just all over the place. I was crazy. I was everywhere. It took a mentor of mine sitting me down to be like, Alex, I know you are more than this. And first of all, you need to understand that, yeah, your mom was your comfort place, but this is what the real world looks like. This is what hard feels like. This is what life is about. So you will always see people that will talk that. And I know that, you have been on YouTube, you have heard from the motivational speakers and all of that. Oh, yeah, people will talk down on you. People will do this to you. But it's one thing to tell someone that someone will talk down on them. And it's another thing to actually tell them, okay, now I know that is going to happen. What should I change about my behavior that allows that thing to stop affecting me? What will I change about my behavior? Because you're making me aware of a lot of things, but you're not telling me what about my behavior I should actually change. And let me tell you something, that your actions change your life more than your intentions. You can keep dreaming and fantasizing about, and I know you have also heard this too, but think about it, like the actions you actually take, those are the things that actually change your life, not the intentions you have. You could have the best intentions for like a lot, for like people, for yourself and whatever, but without action, nothing is really going to change. And let me give you a little shocker now. You cannot take action without capacity. Action in itself is a doing word. And in order to do, you need to have the capacity first to do. So now, all this I've been saying here and trying to document and trying to draw and all of that is just me trying to throw it in there and trying to give you the tools that you would need to actually sit in that incubation chamber till you build that capacity. These are like actionable steps that you can take while building your capacity, so that when you get to a point where action can actually be taken on a very macro level, you can take that action. Be it getting the job, getting the girl, getting whatever. And one of the things that you actually have to master is how to handle negative feedback. So now, there are 3 ways you can handle negative feedback. One is by completely ignoring them. One is by ignorance. No, if I say ignorance, it sounds somehow. So let me say completely. Ignoring them. Now, what do I mean by completely ignoring them? So someone comes to you now and tells you that you're a stupid person, you are so dumb, how can you be following your life? Are you a madman? See what you are doing with your time. And you just stay silent. You find out that at the end of the day, you save your strength, you save your time, and you just save your mental bandwidth. And now it's easy to say, okay, just keep quiet now. But in the heat of the moment, you want to talk, you want to say a lot of things. But trust me, if you can actually just keep quiet instead of saying anything that comes, just if you can carry sellotape, put sellotape on your mouth and just you find out that once they stay and they exhaust all that they have to say and all that they have to do, and nothing actually happens. Like they don't get any reaction from you. You find out that it just dies down. Because think about it now. The question you should ask yourself is, what action will I take that will increase the likelihood that this person stops talking shit to me? What action will I take? Now, action 1, I react to them, I punch them, I shout at them, I follow anger. Now, with reaction 1, they will be bound to say another nonsense again, which will in return aggravate you again, and you will not see another nonsense, and before you know, it just becomes a survival of who says the biggest nonsense. And with action 1 now, is that increasing the likelihood that the person doesn't do that again? No, it doesn't. It just it increases the likelihood that the person will do it again, not that the person will not. So now, the first action is completely ignoring them. Now, the second way to actually deal with this kind of thing is agreeing with them. You join your life, you're a fool, you're a goat, I hate you. Okay, yeah, true. Actually, Seth, they actually crazy sometimes, you know me now, madman things, waiting we go do. You just find out that energy, that anger, you just agree with them. I'm not true. You're a stupid man, you're a psycho, yeah, bro. Like, the person will just keep before the person doesn't have anything to say anymore. Like, you just yeah, so no be lie. You just find out that the whole thing has lost its teeth already, because the aim was for the snake to come and bite you and for you to react. But the snake can't bite you now you can't follow the snake they play. You are playing with the snake. So at that point, it doesn't even make sense anymore. They'll just leave you, because either now they feel like you are very stupid, or they just can't fathom what else happened here, so they're just going to leave. And people are usually afraid of what they don't understand. So that's the second way. Now the third way is agreeing with them, and I think let me term this agreeing with them plus. You're a stupid man. See the way they dress, mumu, they wear faded clothes all the time. Chris man, idiot. Yes, so my brother, if you even see the tear clothes, if you even see my trousers sef, my boss sef, the backside, you know, trust me, you no wan even see that one. Who is this person? They just stay and they're just wondering to themselves, like, who is this guy? I'm here trying to tear you down and you are agreeing with me and you're even adding more evidence. What is wrong with you? You sure say it's normal at all? You know, you sure say it's normal at all? So, you just render them useless. And I think, this is by far, this one here is by far like my most fun. You know, I use it from time to time. It's by far like my most fun. You know, I keep using this one from time to time, and you know, it helps relieve that, because I think this third part exactly. Let me get my pencil. This third part there, it has a way of relieving the mental stress that you feel in the moment of that person saying that thing, and you redirect that energy towards adding to their case. But I think in terms of leverage or in terms of output, this is best. You know, this is the best based on output. If you know that you really want to like save your time, maybe you're having a busy day or something, like just ignore. But if you have some time and you want to spend some time and you still don't want to make a fool out of yourself by giving them what they want, then man, you can either do this, or you can do this. So, all right. So last but not least, the greatest of all, goats of this whole mind training. I say mind training. Shopify training of this whole training is put God first. Can't emphasize enough on this. If we start diving deep into this, we today might even end. We'll enter tomorrow. But the honest truth is just that sometimes you could be doing everything right. Like, you could be nailing everything. You could be following the tutorial to a T. You could follow the course. You could follow the degree. Like, you could be doing everything right. And life still has a way of showing you that you are not in control. You know? So this is just me saying to you that as we're on a journey to build our careers and build our lives, let's not also forget that this life we're living is a gift, first of all. And it should be cherished, and we should always appreciate the giver for everything so far so good. Because think of it now. Why is it that it's always when people get to their deathbeds, they get to that situation, and it's mostly usually like chronic illnesses? You even see atheists that don't believe in God, they are not like, oh my God, have fun now. God help me, oh. Help me, oh, save my soul, save my son, save my sister, save my wife, save my girlfriend, save my boyfriend. So you can already acknowledge that in that situation where things are out of your hand, there is someone you can call. So why do you have to start calling him when it gets chronic, instead of calling him from the beginning of your journey? Because see, take it or leave it, to succeed in tech, you need the favor of God. See, I don't know what anybody wants to say about it, but you need the favor of God, because see, you are dealing with complete strangers. What makes you feel you will send that cold email and they will read it and they will listen? Because you were able to clearly calculate LTV to CAC ratio, or you were able to help them know how to write their emails better, or there are a ton of other people that can do that even better than you, that might still be in their emails. So why should they listen to you? So you get to a point where you find out that you need another level of compelling force that is not physical. Take it or leave it. You need another compelling force. that is not physical to make this journey make sense. So to wrap up my entire session before I start taking questions and all that, I would really want to say that you are building a career here. You are building a business, you are building a career. So you should not expect that in the first 3 months of not getting results, it's perfectly normal. The first 6 months of not getting results is perfectly normal. The first 9 months of not getting results is still normal. Still very normal. And I'm not saying this because I've gotten opportunities now, but I'm saying this because that's how my own went. I was applying for jobs for 6 straight months. Almost 7 jobs a day. Almost 7 jobs a day for 6 months. Now you no go give up. But that's what I'm trying to say, that you are building a career here. You need to be willing to give it time. And I know that that time might be what you don't have, but you just have to come to terms with the fact that that is what you are building. A career, a business. And see, as long as it's not fraud, and it's not money ritual, it will take time. Just accept it that way. It will take time. If it's not fraud and if it's not money ritual, your wins will take time. But trust me, when it comes and when it starts, like only I don't even know what can, let's say, except maybe you are the one that decides to stop. Because once it starts, it keeps getting better from there. Because even if you were to lose everything, you still have the skills that brought you to that point, so you can replicate that result again. That's the reason why I'm very bullish on skills, and I'm bullish on understanding why you are doing this thing and lifting it beyond the realm of feelings into actual mental context, so that you can draw a map and tell yourself, this is why I started. This is where I am going to. This is the vehicle that I need to go from here to here. And you are clear about it. You are completely clear about it. So that's the last of my training. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all got value from all this. So I would love to start taking questions now. Let's see if you have any. Let me stop sharing my screen. Okay. So if you have any questions, if you have maybe any feedback, any comments, any whatever, I'm here to listen. Let's get it through.
Okay, if you have questions, you can take turns to raise your hands.
Oh yeah, Ignatius, I saw your comments. Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Okay, yeah, Mark. Shoot. I think that's
Good morning.
Okay, yeah, sorry, Mark. Before you go, yeah, Mr. God, I think someone is asking if the meeting is being recorded.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. She said it's recorded. So yeah, that's the answer to your question. All right, Mark. Shoot.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's been a wonderful session actually, and I just have one question for this academy now, Spotify Academy. What do you think is the basic skill we need to start going for first for just starters?
Okay, I
If
think
there's something like that.
yeah, I get your question. I think the best, and I think even arguably one of the most profitable is to go with the Shopify developer. Why? Because it helps you build leverage over time. Because a lot of the clients on Upwork are either looking for one of two people that can help them with their entry level problems, and senior people that can help them scale. So if you take the Shopify, if you take the solutions architect or the commerce, what's that? I think is it commerce consultants. Yeah, if you take the commerce consultants or the solutions architects, it might be a bit tougher for you because startups they don't exactly need immediate immediate will I say knowledge. Yeah, what they need is structure. And being a developer now helps you build that structure for them. And so in the process of doing that now, you can now get to chip in your skills as a commerce consultant or as a solutions architect. So I think here, the Shopify developer course is arguably the best foundation to start with.
Okay, thank you very much. That
Yeah,
answers my question.
yeah. All right. You're welcome. Okay, any other questions?
So I think nobody has any other questions, and if they're like me, it's really been, I understood everything from the point you started. I got your perspective. I learned a lot. So I think we're good to go.
Okay.
And
So I have
yeah,
one question for like everyone, because I don't know if we still have a little time.
yeah, we do.
Okay. So I just want to ask everyone, and you can answer in random, maybe just raise up your hand. So, what are you going to do differently from this time onwards? Because it's one thing to attend a session like this, and it's another thing to actually have actionable steps that, okay, from this, I will do this, I will do this, and I will be committed to that process. So the commitment is on your part, but what will you do differently in regards to your journey, or what are you going to do differently? It could just be one thing. Yeah, Chiwendu. Yeah, Chiwendu. Yeah, you can go.
Enter the Shopify market.
You said what?
Enter the Shopify market.
I didn't quite hear you. Like your voice was not audible.
I think it's my speaker. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. Yeah,
I said because of the lack of Nigerians in the Shopify market, and
yeah.
because you have realized all those things on Upwork in front of us, I'm now motivated to explore and enter it, explore the Shopify market. I think it's because we don't really use Shopify in Nigeria. It's mostly abroad. So maybe people are not familiar with it like that. But it's something I'm willing to explore after to do.
Oh yeah. All right, that's good. To add to what you said, okay, yeah, I'll drop the link soon. So add to what you said, I think if you want to get like really fast break experiences, you can search for like Shopify virtual assistants online. You can search for Shopify virtual assistants, and yeah, the pay is drastically lower than what we like explore today. But if you just want to get your foot in the door, you just want to start doing something, yeah, that's a very good place to start. So Chiwendu, congratulations. You know what your next step looks like, so it's up to you to take those steps. So I think the next person is Ignatius. Yeah, shoot, man.
What I'll do next, my next step is to take negative feedback well. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I heard
Okay.
you. Yeah. I think it's very important that you picked that part though. Yeah, because it will help you all through your journey. All right. So is there anyone else that knows what they will be doing differently from now on? All right, Mark.
Yeah, you made a very
Ooh, seems like
yeah the part of where you said we should document our journey, that kind of really made a lot of sense, because with that you kind of tend to look back and see that you've gone so far from where you were before, or what you had before, the ability to implement and then use what you had or use what you have. From that is the first point. So yes, from the first point, using what you have and then getting to document your journey on how you started to where you want to be, or where you eventually be when you get to that point. So that's actually a good one. So I look forward to like putting or implementing this mindset or mind shift towards this business and you know life in general.
yeah, that's great. That's great, Mark. That's really, really good. And I think another bonus I can add on documenting your journey is that it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could just be all writing. It could be writing plus images and all of that. But the most important thing is to just make sure you put it out there so that people get to build with you. Yeah. So it's really good that you took that point. Congratulations also, you know what you are going to do after now. So that's another big step forward. Ignatius. Okay. All right. So is there anyone else that knows what they'll be doing after now? Oh, our boss herself. All right.
Yes. So majorly after now, I my mindset or my view on passion has changed drastically
Mm,
to not associate it with feelings again. So it becomes easier to navigate uncharted waters and to go with my dreams and plans that I have for the year.
ooh, okay. Now this is some deep stuff. My boss, congratulations. You also know what the next step is for you. So, I can see I think there are two other people on this call that have not spoken. Blessing. Okay. I think Blessing left the call. Miracle. Hi. Did you did you hear anything we talked about? Okay, so in the absence of no other person, thank you all for having me. I'm really intentional about people knowing what to do, because it's actually when you change your behavior that you can actually change your life. Dreams only remain dreams until you actually wake up and act on them. So thank you all for having me once more. It's really an honor to be here. It's a pleasure. So yeah, have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This was a very, very, very powerful training for us to begin the year. And our heart and shout out goes to you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Let's give him a wonderful round of applause. Thank you. So we've come to the end. I think the meeting is about to end, so we can all leave and try to act on what we've learned today. We learned a lot, not just Shopify, we learned mindsets and we learned, you know, uh, views. We learned, we can see the anime fans already rising in the chat. So we learned, the perspective of another freelancer also as we take our parts in, as we, journey on this value freelancing part here. So let's all exit the call. I think we have about 2 or 5 minutes left. Yeah, before the call ends. All right, see you on WhatsApp. Let's go, fire up the group chats, posts and all that on, and let's grow in public,